What up, homies, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy. Listen, I've sat down to think about the possibilities for where the BlazBlue story can go, and for one side, I think like they should follow the Naoto arc. Now, the Naoto arc is a bit different than most because Naoto's future timeline follows the present timeline, which also follows the future. So they're like side by side and they're moving forward at the same time. But the thing is that Naoto can cross boundary, and you know, there's folks in the present day of BlazBlue that can cross boundary too. But that'll be in another video that I'll talk about a little bit later. But if they were to go the Naoto arc, there's so much freedom for Arc System Works can do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a few original characters return. Like, they have new folks coming that, you know, Mori hasn't even like brought into like in fighting games yet. So there's so much potential. Yeah, we got BlazBlue Alternative Dark World with a few characters from, you know, the series that have some attacks that we would see, but not in fighting game if they decide to go that route. Now, I say fighting game because I know that's what the FGC really wants, but it's up to Arc System Works what they really want to do with it. And either way, BlazBlue's gonna sell regardless. But let's look at the Naoto roster, which is on Twitter X, by the way. I did post two posts, one Naoto route, and then there's a BlazBlue route, which we'll talk about in another video, but we're gonna focus on Naoto right now. The potential and room to work with the roster right here. We got Naoto, who'd be the main character. You have Raquel, Sayatermi, Kiryu, Relius, Valkenhayn, Hazama, Mei, Spinner, and of course, White Justice. Now, most of these individuals right here, Naoto has encountered with one way or another. And then I have the DLC down here titled Phantom Futures. Now, I called it that because it sounded cool as fuck. But you have Ragna, Shield Sulfur, and Clavis Alucard. The reason I picked Clavis Alucard is because Naoto does run into Clavis plenty of times. So there's that. And of course, Raquel is in this. So it is what it is. I could have put Rachel in here, but you know, with Rachel and Raquel, they both use wind magic, sorcery, and all that stuff. It would be kind of pointless if you put them both in there. Not because they wouldn't be good as a duo, but it would just be kind of, you got Rachel in here and she's not really within this timeline. And then you got Raquel, who is in this timeline, both children of Clavis, and Clavis know that they're both his children. And then it's like kind of awkward, but not too awkward because they do meet each other in BlazBlue Alternative Dark War and they have a good sit down and talk. So there's that. But just going from there, we have Ragna. Ragna does appear in Blood Edge Experience, which they could use as a reference, by the way. Shield Sulfur has come across Naoto plenty of times and helped him like in the Phantom Fields, and Naoto did not forget Shield Sulfur. So him being an anomaly is the reason why that kind of works. So it would be pretty good to have her as a DLC, considering she is like the main character for BlazBlue going forward, unless Arc System Works changes it, but we really just don't know. I don't really have anything for the story, but I take it Arc System Works will just kind of modify the Blood Edge Experience story and have it where, you know, Naoto's doing this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then Ragna like shows up at some point. There's no telling what he's gonna be doing, or, you know, he'll be listed as like an NPC until like he's available, and then, you know, you can use him. Shield Sulfur, I'm sure, will be involved in the story somewhat, but not too much, because you don't want to have the DLC characters like overdo it where they become the main character when the main character is Naoto. So you don't want that. But I do want to talk about the freedom that Arc System Works has with this, because even with these characters right here, and it goes back to like the Calamity Trigger days where it was a limited roster and there wasn't a lot of folks like in it. Now, people love BlazBlue Calamity Trigger way back when it came out. It was one of the top sellers, to be honest. But with that being said, there's room to add more characters that we've never seen or come across. Now, White Justice, of course, is gonna be a new character anyway, regardless, because Naoto's run across White Justice, and of course, said Hakumen was just like White Justice. I don't see Hakumen coming in here unless his whole moveset changes, maybe. But even if it did, it'd be kind of weird, because like, okay, you got White Justice and Hakumen. Why would you do that? They've met each other, White Justice and Hakumen, in BlazBlue Alternative Dark War, but that's besides the point. This is like the future timeline. There's no reason for Hakumen to pop up in there. He's kind of an anomaly, but not really. He's in the boundary, and we'll just leave it at that. But I would love to hear from you all what you think about the possible Naoto route that, you know, Arc System Works could take. Give me like your thoughts on it. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you think the story, you know, how it would be, how it would progress, who would be the main villain. I'm really not picking Spinner as the main villain of a potential Naoto BlazBlue because this dude is just a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX villain, and like, he's garbage. I really didn't like the dude when I was reading Blood Edge Experience. He's whatever. Fuck him. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of talk about Relius, Valkenhayn, and Hazama. Mainly Hazama because the dude keeps coming back, and you know, he's an anomaly, but it is what it is. Again, leave comments under the video. We'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Notifications turned on. Follow on socials for updates on future projects and more. And until next time, my homies, may the wheel of fate keep turning. I'm out.